Team USA just scraped by France with a 1-point win. But here's the kicker. They were missing their secret weapon. Caitlin Clark, the assist queen and three-point machine, was left off the roster. Was this the biggest blunder in USA basketball history? You've heard the legends of Team USA women's basketball. 7 straight Olympic gold medals. A dynasty that seemed unshakable. But what happens when the unbeatable suddenly look beatable? Let's talk about France. The underdogs playing on home court with a crowd that was ready to witness history. These weren't just fans. They were the 6th player on the court, pushing their team to new heights. Now picture this. Team USA, the basketball powerhouse, struggling to keep up. It's like watching Superman fumble with his cape. Their offense, stagnant. The ball movement, almost non-existent. And get this, 19 turnovers. That's not just a slip-up, that's a full-on stumble. But wait, there's more. Only 2 3-pointers made the entire game. 2. From a team that's supposed to rain threes like it's monsoon season. It's like watching sharpshooters suddenly forget how to aim. You might be wondering, how did the cream of the crop suddenly curdle? Well, let's zoom in on the old guard for a second. Diana Taurasi, the veteran, the leader, the one you'd expect to steady the ship in stormy waters. But instead of being the lighthouse guiding the team home, she was more like a flickering bulb. Taurasi's performance, let's just say it wasn't exactly highlight reel material. Missed shots, turnovers, and a general sense of being out of sync with the rest of the team. It's like watching a maestro suddenly forget how to conduct the orchestra. And it wasn't just Taurasi. The whole team seemed to be playing like they just met each other 5 minutes before tip-off. Passes flying wide, shots clanking off the rim, and defensive rotations that looked more like a game of musical chairs than a well-oiled machine. France, on the other hand, they were playing like their lives depended on it. Every loose ball, every rebound, every defensive stop, they wanted it more. And with each passing minute, you could see the belief growing in their eyes. The impossible suddenly seemed possible. Remember, this is Team USA we're talking about. The team that usually makes opponents feel like they're playing against a video game, boss on impossible mode. But against France, they looked all too human. Remember when we talked about something missing from Team USA's lineup? Well, it's time to address the elephant in the room. Or rather, the absence of a certain player that's got everyone talking. Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who's been lighting up the WNBA, was left off the Olympic roster. And boy, did that decision come back to haunt Team USA. Let's break it down. Clark isn't just good. She's rewriting the record books. She's the WNBA assist leader, dishing out dimes like they're going out of style. And when it comes to three-pointers, she's sitting pretty at number 2 in the league. We're talking about a player who can create opportunities out of thin air and drain shots from downtown like it's child's play. Now picture that kind of firepower on Team USA's roster. Instead of watching the ball stick like glue, we might have seen it zipping around the court, finding open shooters, and creating havoc for the French defense. Clark's court vision and passing ability could have been the lubricant that got Team USA's offensive engine purring again. But it's not just about the assists. Remember those 2 lonely three-pointers Team USA managed to make? With Clark on the floor, that number could have been very different. Her ability to stretch the defense and knock down shots from beyond the arc would have forced France to guard the perimeter, opening up lanes for drives and cuts to the basket. Let's talk about that challenging third quarter. Team USA's offense looked more constipated than a kid who ate too much cheese. This is where Clark's creativity and scoring punch could have made a world of difference. Imagine her weaving through defenders, pulling up for a quick 3, or finding a teammate for an easy bucket. Instead, we watch Team USA struggle to create any kind of rhythm or momentum. And how about the pressure on Aja Wilson? France's defense was all over her like a cheap suit. With Clark on the court, defenses couldn't afford to double-team Wilson so aggressively. Her presence alone would have created more space for Wilson to operate, potentially turning those hard-fought possessions into easy buckets. But Clark's impact goes beyond just X's and O's. This girl is a fan magnet. Her games in the WNBA have been drawing over 2 million viewers. That's not just impressive, it's game-changing. Now, imagine if she was suiting up for Team USA in Paris. You think that crowd would have been so overwhelmingly pro-France? Clark's star power could have shifted the energy in that arena, giving Team USA a much-needed boost when the going got tough. Here's where it gets really interesting. Dawn Staley, the coach who led Team USA to gold in Tokyo, actually expressed regret over Clark's omission. She acknowledged Clark's exceptional level of play and the potential contributions she could have made. When a coach of Staley's caliber is second-guessing a roster decision, you know it's a big deal. So let's play a little game of what if. What if Clark had been on that court in Paris? What if her pinpoint passes had found shooters in their sweet spots? What if her long-range bombs had forced the French defense to stretch, creating gaps for her teammates to exploit? What if her mere presence had energized the Team USA supporters in the crowd? You've seen the drama unfold on the court, but now it's time to pull back the curtain and take a peek behind the scenes. Let's talk about the real game changer here, the selection process that almost cost Team USA their golden legacy. Picture this, a room full of basketball bigwigs, tasked with picking the dream team. But instead of looking at the scoreboard, they're flipping through history books. It's like they're trying to build a time machine instead of a basketball team. The selection committee, a 6-member panel, had a choice to make: stick with the tried and true veterans or roll the dice on fresh talent. And boy, did they choose to play it safe. They went for the old guard, the names we've been hearing for years, leaving rising stars like Caitlin Clark watching from the sidelines. Now, you might be thinking, hey, experience counts for something, right? And you're not wrong. There's value in having players who've been there, done that, got the gold medal. They know the pressure of the Olympic stage, the weight of representing their country. They've faced tough opponents before and come out on top. But here's the thing, basketball isn't played in the past. It's played right here, right now, on the court. And right now, we've got young guns like Clark who are changing the game. They're bringing new energy, new skills, and a whole lot of swagger to the court. So why didn't the selection committee take a chance on these rising stars? Maybe they were afraid of rocking the boat. Maybe they thought the old formula would keep working forever. But as we saw in that nail-biter against France, sometimes the old playbook needs a few new pages. Let's break it down. On one side, you've got the argument for experience. These veteran players have been through the Olympic ringer before. They know how to handle the pressure, how to rally when things get tough. They've got chemistry built over years of playing together. But on the flip side, you've got the case for fresh talent. Players like Clark aren't just good, they're game changers. They bring new skills, new strategies, and a hunger to prove themselves on the world stage. Plus, they're in their prime, at the top of their game right now. Here's where it gets really interesting. By sticking with the old guard, the selection committee might be setting themselves up for trouble down the road. Think about it. These veteran players won't be around forever. By not giving younger players a chance to get that Olympic experience now, Team USA could be facing a talent gap in future competitions. It's not just about winning today. It's about staying on top tomorrow, next year, and in the next Olympics. The rest of the world isn't standing still. Other countries are developing their own basketball programs, churning out talented players who are hungry to take down the reigning champs. So the big question is, how does Team USA stay on top? Do they keep relying on the same players until they retire? Or do they start mixing in new talent, even if it means taking a few risks? It's like trying to keep a car running at top speed. You can't just keep using the same old parts. Sometimes you need to upgrade to keep up with the competition. The same goes for basketball. To stay dominant, teams need to evolve, adapt, and sometimes take a chance on new talent. The Clark snub isn't just about one player missing out on a golden opportunity. It's a wake-up call for Team USA and the selection committee. It's forcing them to take a hard look at how they build their team and whether their current approach can keep them on top in the face of rising global competition.